Hi there, good afternoon, it's me, Teacher Mike from phuketpals.org. Welcome back to another video. Now if you're finding these videos useful in any way, which I'm sure you are because they're absolutely amazing, then make sure you hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Also hit the little bell, the notification bell, which will give you videos direct to your account and make it happen. So I'm very excited today. We have Mr. Tim Taylor in the house. Tim is a recent graduate from our GED program here at Phuket Pals. And Tim, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm going pretty well. Yourself?
Everything is wonderful. All is well. I just had my shot of espresso coffee with you downstairs, so I've taken off like a rocket. I'm ready for this podcast. So tell us a little bit about what led you to take GED.
Well, I saw the GED as a cheaper alternative into getting into high school, finish off the high school, which indeed saves a lot of time. So I have more time to go to work, and sooner I can start earning more money.
Okay, so that's something that many students say. GED gives them an alternative to the traditional system. For example, A-levels take 2 years. International Baccalaureate takes 2 years, Thai M5, M6 takes 2 years, and GED can be done in a year or less, and it means that then you can get into the workplace, start earning some money, and get on with life. Is that about right?
Yep, and also gives me a lot of free time to work on my hobbies.
What hobbies do you have?
Swimming, playing pool, and also riding the bicycle around the lake and stuff, getting fit.
Is that the lake close to here?
Yep.
The big dam?
Yep.
Oh, very good. I run around there as well. Good stuff. So they're the reasons that led you to take the GED. So things like saving time, saving costs, just convenience, I suppose?
Yeah, absolute convenience.
Okay, what advice would you give other students who are thinking about taking GED?
Don't underestimate GED at all. You can't be lazy, you have to put in effort, you need to try, and there's not a moment where you can think, it'll be okay, I'll get better next time. Okay,
that's interesting to hear, because there are many students who have this preconception that GED is going to be, a walk in the park. It's just going to be something they come in and, wave their magic wand and complete with no problem. But you found that was not the case, is that right?
That's absolutely correct. I found that the GED test was actually really, really difficult to understand, and the vocabulary that it used even tricked me a couple of times. I had to answer the question completely differently. Okay,
and which of the subjects would you say have been most challenging for you?
English, and that's my first language. Because the vocabulary that's used, the questions that's asking is not what I'm used to at all in day-to-day life, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, the English, the RLA test as it's known, it's definitely a much meatier product than it was a few years ago, because you probably don't know this, but the GED testing service changed the module in 2014 in the US and Canada, which came into play in 2016 internationally. Previously it was called the 2002 module, and they made certain subjects, they made all of them harder, but RLA in particular was made much trickier. Which part of the RLA test would you say is the hardest?
The essay, the last part.
The extended response?
Yep. I was running out of time, I was rushing it, I was not sure what I was going to get. I was about 50-50 if I was going to fail it or not, but lucky I just passed.
Okay, good for you. And what would you say is, since you've finished your GED program now, what would you say is something that you got from the program that you didn't expect you would get?
Dealing with people, having to be able to, the social, being able to talk with people more fluently and being able to be more patient.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay, and would you say that's something that the GED program taught you, or is that something was just a social element of our program here at Phuket Pals?
It's a social element here.
Okay.
But also the GED test itself, it taught me to think about the bigger picture. Everything else that comes with it, things that you do not expect to see at all.
For example?
For example, Yeah, I got me stuck there.
Okay.
I forgot the questions.
That's okay. Don't worry. We'll move on. What I was saying is like in the RLA test, you said that some of the questions allowed you to see the bigger picture.
Yes.
Can you give an example of what you mean by that?
Let's say a hidden meaning. So, like the overall effect that it has on you, that the author's trying to write about
Okay.
what it's trying to teach you as a lesson inside of that the piece.
Okay. So things like the author's purpose or the inference of meaning and all of those types of things. Pretty cool. You're not talking about like secret Illuminati signals or
No.
Bohemian Grove blood sacrifice stuff. No, I just watch too many conspiracy theory videos. Perhaps that's just my conspiratorial mind going into overdrive. But never mind. Okay, on a more sober level, what are you passionate about? Passionate, I can almost say it. What are you passionate about in life, Tim?
I'm passionate in doing what I do well, taking my time with it and making sure it comes out the best that it can.
But what you taking your time doing what well, in particular?
Like a specific thing that I'm doing, or like overall?
Like something in life, if I say to you, okay, you have to from this point on for the rest of your life do one thing, something that you love to do.
Yeah.
What would that thing be?
That would be doing maintenance inside of my father's business, making
Okay.
sure everything looks looking neat, everything looks nice and clean, and that there's never rubbish anywhere at all.
Okay.
Taking care of it.
Okay, very good. Not like my studio here. Which I'm actually glad the camera's pointing this way and not any other direction, because you've heard about camera trickery. Well, what you can see outside this shot is a bit of a, let's say it looks like a bomb may have just been detonated in the recent past. Anyway, enough about my messy room. Back to you, Tim. You said about your dad's business in Australia.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my dad's business is a caravan park, or otherwise known as a trailer park in American terms. And we cater to people towing caravans and driving RVs around Australia. And we also have cabins for just people walking in and stuff like that.
Okay. Are they people living there? Are they tourists or is it like full-time residents?
We have a few full-time residents that stay in the park all the time. They call them permanents.
What are they called?
Permanents.
Permanents. Okay.
Yep. They just got a caravan set up in the back. But otherwise, we mainly cater to tourists.
Okay. And what part of Australia is that in?
South Australia on the Great Australian Bight.
Oh, very nice. I've never been. Is it a nice place?
It's amazing. The water's lovely and best sunsets you'll ever see.
Even nicer than Phuket?
Nothing will beat Phuket.
Correct. Indeed. We want commission off the Phuket Tourism Authority for that particular quote from you, Tim. Thank you. Tim, I'm going to go left field here. I'm going to go weird with the questioning. What's your favourite word?
My favourite word. Paparazzi.
Paparazzi?
Yeah, the way it sounds, the way the word is built and structured, I like it.
It's pretty cool. It's an Italian word.
Mm.
Something I learned the other day, which was really cool, and it kind of connects to the Italian influence on the English language, was that when you have, let's say you got a plate of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Well, when you've got one of them, that's just one singular strand, what's it called?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetto. That is a spaghetto. So there you go. So next time, for everyone watching this video, if you are at a dinner party, you can pick up a singular strand of spaghetti. Sorry, what you formerly thought was spaghetti, and say, "What's this, everyone?" And then they will all say spaghetti, and you can say, "You're absolutely incorrect, but good points for trying. This is actually a spaghetto." So eat your meal and shush, is what you can say. All right, cool. Let me think. My favorite word in the English language. Do I even have one? I don't think. Maybe I like the word, what do you call it? My mind's gone blank. What's that word? What's the word for something that's foreign and a little bit interesting?
Frontier?
No, it's I can't remember. Who cares? Never mind. If you're talking about words, so I remember one time when I was doing A-level history years ago in Ireland, 4 or 5 years ago, you know. The teacher we came into the classroom and the teacher had written a word on the whiteboard, or the blackboard as it was then, thinking he was deeply intellectual and that he's going to make a big influence on our lives with this particular utterance. The word was counter-majoritarianistically. That was the word. And there is a word, counter-majoritarian, that's used, I think, to describe something in Parliament if the majority of people go against the majority or something like that, the process of that happening. But he thought there's always a word that stuck in my mind, counter-majoritarian. So there you go. That's my favourite word in the English language, for now. Anyway, enough nonsense. Moving on. What are you curious about right now, Tim? What interests you in life post-GED?
Where I'm going to end up. Where I'm going to end up at the end of it. After going to work, I'm curious on the problems that I'm going to face and how I'm going to overcome them.
Okay. Well, I think there's a pretty definite ending for all of us in this life.
You're deaf?
It's the only sure thing. But that's it. Yeah, but the future is always something we're curious about, because the future doesn't really exist. It's kind of a figment of our own imagination, and we kind of create images of it all the time.
It keeps changing.
It does. What would be your ideal future? Like, if I could wave my magic wand. It's the second time I said magic wand in this video. If I could wave my magic wand and give you like the perfect future for yourself, what would that look like to you?
I'm going to be in the newest Ford Mustang and going down an Autobahn in Germany, if they haven't closed them down by then.
No, they're still there.
They're still there?
Yeah.
And I'm going somewhere and I don't care where it's going to be.
Well, it has to be in Central Europe.
Oh.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Yeah, I remember years ago driving between Berlin and Dresden. There's a huge autobahn there, and I was driving a hired car, and I was in the slow lane. Okay,
Yeah.
You're on the right side. Okay, I was in the slow lane. I was doing 145 kilometers. No, 130 miles per hour in my hired, or was it No, it was 130 miles per hour in the slow lane of the autobahn, and I was panicking. I was like, just go, and then beside me, there's just these cars going.
And you're going 200 kilometers an hour already.
Yes.
Jesus.
It was mad. I've never ever seen just these huge BMWs, Audis flying past me. I felt like like an old granny going to get her shopping in the supermarket. She's behind the wheel, and I was doing 130. But anyway, not advocating that type of speed on the road, of course. But indeed, that would be it's legal on the autobahn, isn't it?
Well, it is legal, but I've heard that they've shut down quite a few of them recently.
Oh, have they?
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, being a GED success, Tim, there must be something. Well, none of us can experience success all the time. What's something you've failed at in life that you can think of?
It's anything.
Yeah.
I failed at.
Yeah, anything at all.
My biggest failure would be when I came off my bike, I think, because that did not just affect me, it affected my dad as well, very dramatically, because we were not in the financial position for it, and I was lucky to come out of that hurt just once again, and I learned so much from that.
Okay, what did you learn?
I learned to value your life, and that it can just be gone like that.
Definitely. Life is underrated sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good answer. I think it's a lesson that many I think a lesson you learn more and more of as you get older. I think that sometimes these actions that you have, these kind of actions that seem to not affect anyone else apart from yourself, sometimes they go belly up, let's say, and then you realize that there are huge ramifications for many people, and they're quite wise. It's a wise observation for a man of your age, Tim. Good stuff.
Yeah, it didn't just affect me. It affected my dad, business, and way we did things after that.
How much did it cost?
30,000 baht.
30,000?
Yep.
Okay, that's not cheap. Okay. A lesson to be learned for us all who go fast on motorbikes. Indeed. Okay, final question, Tim, just to let you away. I don't want to bore you to death today. Is there anything I should have asked you but didn't ask you today? What question kind of would you ask yourself, I suppose?
No, I'm pretty sure you covered the topic pretty well.
Yeah, okay. Is there anything you'd like to ask me? Like, I will answer absolutely any question that you have.
Will the GED testing interface ever be improved?
Oh my goodness. That question is... You're correct to ask that to a GED testing service partner. However, I am powerless in terms of the interface. What about the interface would you like to see changed?
The calculator.
What's wrong with it?
The way that it calculates pi, it's not to its exact value, they just calculate 3.14. And commonly when I was when I was solving problems that required me to use pi, it was coming up as results in pi, and how much pi, like 400 pi. Stuff that I didn't like that and got me a bit confused because it wasn't coming up in the multiple choice options.
Okay, that's a bit confusing then. Anything else about the interface? I will pass on your recommendations to GED Testing Service USA about the calculator. Anything else?
It needs to be more modern, I think.
Okay, define modern.
It looks like something that's on Windows Vista.
Is that not the latest Windows? No.
Oh, right, that's before Windows 7.
Okay, I'm lost when it comes to anything to do with Windows. Okay, so it needs a bit of you think it needs a bit of a modern twist?
Yes.
Okay.
Needs to be brought up to speed.
All right. Do you know any other interfaces that there are that you think it could aim towards or could try to mirror or learn from?
I can't think of any interface that is closely related to what that interface is doing.
I think I do take on board what you say, but it definitely does the job for what it's supposed to do.
That's what it does.
Yeah.
That's fine, but if you can, modernize it, please.
Okay. So that's for you, GED Testing Services. Mr. Tim here, who's a GED graduate, and someone who is in a very good position to critically evaluate everything GED, wants a more modern interface, and that calculator scrapped?
Scrapped and put in a new one.
A new one, okay. If that's not too much to ask, then make that happen for Mr. Tim. Right, so that's it. If you got this far in the video, I take my hat off to you. You probably got nothing else to do. I hope you found it in some way entertaining and informative. Tim, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure. Good luck for the future in Australia.
Thank you.